Cocco channel and to another retail horror story. So today we are going to do me as an employee and we're going to do another different employer. So today is going to be me working at the company called Joann's, which if you did not know is very similar to Michael's. It's a crafting store. And no, I'm not crafty at all. A little bit. But I don't sew, I don't knit, I don't do any of that. I think I was definitely more into scrapbooking at the time. Paper crafting, stuff like that. And they actually have like really, really cool home decor, believe it or not. So at Joann's, what I did is in the mornings at like, we had to be there at 6, right? Yeah, we had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like I was morning shift every day that I worked, and me and this other girl, we'll call her Jay, me and her were super, super tight, and her and I switched off counting the money in the mornings. Like we would set up the drawers, you know what I mean? We had like 7 registers, so her and I would switch off doing that, and then her and I, like, we were a team, and so her and I would do the drawers in the mornings, and then her and I did price changes. We would set up new planograms, which just meant like the different shelves and like putting stuff up and everything like that, right? So this story is insane. You guys are gonna die. So her and I did that every morning. And there were other people that came in that did stocking, right? And her and I didn't really do that much unless like it involved our new planograms, like if we were setting up a new schematic or whatever. So on this particular day, I can't really remember what other part-timers were there, but at this Joann's, it's in the shopping center where there's like a Safeway, Marshall's, and something else. What else is in there? A Target. And so nothing else is open in this shopping center when we're supposed to be there except for Safeway. And so I don't know what it was about this store, but for some reason, every freaking manager that we had was always late. Like, her and I were always the first ones in the parking lot, right? So, on this day, this was like 3 years ago, so I was, you know, the age doesn't have anything to do with it. So, on this day, you know, 6 o'clock rolls around, and there's this other lady there, and was she there that day? No, she wasn't. So there's 2 other, who else was there? I'm trying to remember who the hell else was there. So there's this other girl there, right? And we're going to call her S. And S has a bad attitude, especially in the mornings. Like, she is not a morning person. And in general, she just like has a bad attitude, right? So we're waiting on this manager, and we're going to call him Idiot, because he has the same initial as S, and he's just a freaking idiot. He is such an idiot. Okay, so 6 o'clock rolls around, and obviously he's not there. 6:30 rolls around, and he's not there. 7 o'clock rolls around, and he's not there, right? So we're like, well, all right, we're going to Safeway, we're going to get a Starbucks, like, who cares, you know? We don't care because they're going to clock us in at 6 anyway, and so we're just hanging out, you know? It doesn't matter to us. I mean, hell yeah, we're pissed that we had to get up early and get there, and they're not there, but, I mean, we're getting paid and we're not working, right? And none of our managers are ever on time, so we're not really that surprised. But S is, like, pissed because she is always late. Okay, so Idiot finally shows up, and it's like 7:30, so he's an hour and a half late, right? He rolls out of his car and has throw up on the front of his shirt, and he is drunker than a skunk. So number 1, you're a manager and you're an hour and a half late. Number 2, you are drinking and driving, and you are so drunk that you have vomited all over the front of your shirt. That's how drunk you are, right? Let's just start off the story with that. So Jay and I are looking at each other like, oh my gosh, you know? And so we get inside, and there was another girl there who did drawers too. I'm trying to think of who it was. I can't remember, but for some reason, neither her or I had to do drawers that morning. And her and I were like out doing like a new print. Oh, because we were redoing scrapbooking, which is no easy feat. like the individual pieces of paper, scrapbooking paper, right? And so we're over in this, like we go to the back to the lockers and we're like putting our stuff away, and S is like carrying on, and not in a quiet voice, about how much BS it is that these managers can come in late whenever they feel like it, and she comes in late, you know, only a couple minutes, and she gets written up and blah blah blah. So she's like pissed that he's late and this and that. And so him, of course, because he has liquid courage all up in his system, was like, if you have a problem, you can say it to my face. What do you think she's gonna do? She's gonna say it to your face. So she like gets up in his face and she's like, yeah, I have a problem. I have a problem with you making me get up out of bed early and coming here, and you don't even come for like an hour and a half. And he's like, I can come whenever I please because I'm an assistant manager and da 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 da. Like, so that like kind of, you know, dwindled down, whatever. And so we go up to the front and she's helping us in paper. And she just like won't stop about it. Like, I don't know why it burns her butt so bad, but like I think it's because she's gotten written up for being late, and she just like won't stop. She will not stop talking about how mad she is that he was late and like nothing happened about it. Well, there's not the store. I don't even think we had a store manager at the store at this time. Like, this store is so bad that like we go through store managers like toilet paper. Like, we had so many different store managers and acting store managers. Like, we had people come in that were training for other stores. I'm always holding a sponge in my hand. Do you notice that? We had other people that were training for store managers that would come in as acting store managers, and like they would never come back. Like, our store was pretty bad. So anyway, so there's like not even a store manager. Like, I don't know like what she wanted to happen or whatever. And so Jay and I are looking at each other like, oh my God, just drop it. Like, what do you care? Like, you know, you already got written up and you were late. Like, so what? You know what I mean? So here comes Drunky Skunky, right? And he's like, do you want to talk about it? Like, you want to, he's like puffing out his chest, talking to a female, like if she wanted to throw punches. Well, this girl is one of those girls that is not afraid to do so with a male. Like, she had no qualms. So they are like gonna go fisticuffs with each other. Like, they're puffing each other, like puffing chests out at each other, and she's like, yeah, I got a problem with your drunk, blah, blah, blah. Like, trying not to cuss like I did last week, which I do apologize for. So Jay and I are like, what is going on? Like, these two are about to fist fight. One's a manager who's also a male, and one is a part-time employee who's a female. Like, there's so many different rules of like nature and lawsuits pending. Like, there's so many different things that are going on right here that her and I are just like, like freaking out. And so I, like, being the idiot that I am, like trying to hold her back. I don't know why. Probably because I didn't want to touch the vomit on his shirt, you know? And so I'm like, you guys, what are you doing? This is so stupid. Oh my God. And Jay's like, you guys, what are you doing? Like, oh my God, you know? That's pretty much all we could say is like, stop it. And so we kept telling idiot, knock it off. Like, what are you doing over here? Shut up. Like, don't care what she says. You have other stuff to do. You're an assistant manager. There's like tons of stuff to do when opening a store, which by the way is happening very soon now that you've wasted an hour and a half of like things, you know what I mean, that you have to do before you open the store, like the registers and stuff like that, you know, and they have their own stuff to do. Like, you need to go and do your own stuff. So he like walks away, and so now she's even more fired up. Okay, so she's like talking about it again. So he comes back over again, and so she's like, I'm sick of your shit. And so like she comes back towards him, and I was like holding her back again. And so like Jay literally had to take idiot by the arm and like walk him away. And so I was like, that's it. So I called our acting store manager, who sucked a bunch of butt, and I was like, you need to get down here right now. Like, these two are about to throw down. This is the manager. He's drunk. He showed up with vomit all over his shirt. Like, you need to get down here. We need to do something. And we had another lady there who was like training to become a store manager, and I didn't have her phone number. I didn't have her personal phone number. And then we had another store manager, or assistant manager and I didn't have her phone number. So it's our acting store manager, who was actually like my friend at the time. I only had her phone number. Called her, got a hold of her, told her what was happening, told her to get down here, and she's like, well, no, you know, because it was early in the morning and she didn't feel like getting out of bed, basically, is what was the deal. And by the way, we're not friends anymore. But anyways, so she was like, I can't even remember what she told me, but basically that she was not coming down there and that they just needed to be separated like they were children in school. Like, you're gonna get sued, dude. Like, this is a big deal. Like, a manager who is a male cannot freaking hit a girl who is a part-timer. Like, no matter what the sex was, you know what I mean? Like, it's very wrong, number one, that a guy was trying to hit a girl and your freaking, like, manager, your assistant manager is drunk. Like, you need to get down here. Are you kidding me? And you're not gonna come down here? Oh my God. So she like basically told me no, she's not coming down. I'm like, cool. So I'm like still doing my paper thing. Like, I'm redoing the schematic for it. And so Jay's in the back, like getting stock with S. And she was on the phone with her boyfriend, I guess. And she wasn't even talking about it, I guess, is what Jay told me. And idiot goes back there and starts yelling at her some more. Well, the boyfriend overhears it. And what do you think he's gonna do? If you can guess what she's like, you can guess what her boyfriend's like, right? So he comes whooping down, not whooping, but like comes barreling down to the store and starts banging on the glass doors, right? So Sarah goes out there and was like, hey, idiot, you know, like, come out here. And he literally, we have like a vestibule, which means there's like 2 sets of glass doors, and he literally like just stuck his head out the first one. Like, he wouldn't even go out into the like second one, obviously. So he was like, you yelling at my girlfriend? Like, what's your deal? He's like, no, it was just a misunderstanding. I don't know what you're talking about. So he like won't go out. The boyfriend finally leaves, and then S, she's like, I don't want to see you for the rest of the day, you know. And she was like super, super pissed that he like basically wussed out once the boyfriend got there. Not that anyone was surprised at all. And so finally, like 9 o'clock rolls around, and that's when the store opens. And so finally a second assistant manager comes in, and it was the girl who was training for her own store at another location. So she sees what's going on, and she's like, you need to leave, and kicks him out. And he didn't even get fired for that, if you can believe it. He got fired like 2 weeks later because he was late again. They, like, Joann's is so lucky that they did not get sued for that. They totally could have. Totally could have. Can you believe that nonsense? Like, a drunken assistant manager trying to fistfight a employee. She would have kicked his butt too. Like, she really would have. So that is my retail horror story. I have another story that you'll hear later in later weeks involving S again. That's even more insane than that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up if you would like me to continue doing retail horror stories, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!